Hi everyone, have a great day. Today we're working on an impressionistic landscape acrylic painting for beginners. We start with a light brown or mocha color. It's a little bit watery, that's okay, because we're just working on the horizon. We're defining where the horizon is in our painting. And now we're starting to color the sky, which will go to that middle portion of the canvas. We begin with lavender, where we mix blue, red, and white. And then we go into blue, where we mix blue with white as we go down. We're defining here an island, and we're going to create another line from the center in a concave shape and going down, going to the left. And the left side will be the water part, and the right side will be the land where there will be a pathway. We start using our palette knife with just regular blue, any blue, not mixed with anything. And we use a palette knife that will be appropriate for the size of the body of water that you are creating. So instead of a tiny palette knife, I'm using a longer one. And the direction is just from left to right, following the horizon line, which the strokes will be parallel to that. And we just use all plain blue from left to right or right to left, all parallel lines to the horizon. While the paint is still wet, we now use white, and that's the next layer that we will have. So some parts will remain white and some parts will be a light blue color. Again, the strokes will be from left to right or right to left, with lines parallel to the horizon. As you can see, I inverted the canvas so that it will be easier for me to trace that curved line on the left, because that will be my outline where I will input all the white paint. I just continue using blue and white interchangeably until I get a reflection I want, and that I hope it mimics the water flow and how the water reflects. Using a little blue, some green, and more white, we create a light green for a background shrub. And it's using a round filbert brush in circular strokes just above the horizon line. The same color that we mixed, we add a little more white, so these will be the highlights in the background of the shrubs or the bushes. We begin covering the little island on the left side with plain brown, again using the palette knife from left to right, right to left strokes, again parallel to the line that is the horizon. We're using green and yellow to add the greenery to the island. This now is a big tree. We start with blue and yellow, more blue than yellow to make a dark green, and then on the upper part we put yellow, and then on the most upper part we put white, and then we can use brown or black as the stems or the branches of the tree. We use a bit of darker green as the horizon line. This is the land portion of the painting. On the way down, after we use this green, we will have the colors orange, red, and yellow to have an illusion of the reflection of the same colors that will be the colors of the flowers in this fiery tree. Again, the strokes are from left to right, right to left, and we try to blend the separate colors of green and orange. But don't worry so much about it because we're gonna use white later to create some kind of a pathway from the center of the canvas going down. After the red and the orange, we put yellow. And then after this, we will create some kind of a pathway coming from the center of the canvas, coming down, moving in a curved, irregular shape downwards. And there is the pathway, which was created using a palette knife, the same palette knife, and it was small and then becoming bigger down below. And now we're working on the bush. On the right side, we're using a more blue than yellow combination of basic acrylic paint, and then later on we will add a little white to add a lighter green, and then highlight this with yellow, also white later on. As you can see, it's kind of repetitive. What we did to the tree is what we're doing now to the bush. And what we did on that land area that is colored yellow, red, and orange with a white pathway will also be reflected on the lush flowers of the trees that will be drawn between the water and the land area. Okay, let's put some grass or something like snake plants on the borders of the land area. And here we use dark green and then light green, and then we use yellow and white. These are the four colors that will go one on top of the other to create a grass plant or some kind of a snake plant looking grass. For the trees, we will use just plain black for the tree trunks all the way up, and then we will have some stems branching out at the top. For a little more depth or a 3D effect, I'm inputting some shadows of the tree trunks on the pathway. But it seems a little bit solid here. Later on, I will adjust it so that it will not be so solid looking. And then the pathway, the white pathway, I will also make that a little bit more irregular, and I will scatter the grass along the boundaries of the water in the land, just to make it not so like a line, so make it more natural looking. This step takes a little bit more time to to get used to, because for me it was quite a simple task, but it's a good practice on how you are able to lay down the paint using the palette knife, and a different way will make the flowers look lengthy, and sometimes they will be roundish, sometimes they will just look splattered. It doesn't really matter how. Whatever your hand is able to create, then that's it. And this is an impressionistic painting, so however your hand moves to create a look is the way it will be. So there is no right or wrong. You just follow your heart and do what your hand will go for, and that will be it. What colors will we use here will be red, orange, yellow, and white. Those 4 colors that we used on the land area will be the same colors that will reflect the fire and the lush blooms of the fairy tree. Patience is a virtue that a painter must have, because no matter how many dots, no matter how many you have put, it just doesn't seem to be enough. And I'm looking at the tree and it's looking a little bit awkward for me, so I'm gonna make that tree a little bit more bushy and add a lot more of this red, orange, yellow, and white flowers. Here it is. I think it's a very happy painting. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye. See you soon. Travels, gardens, Ikinobo Ikibana, zero waste gardening, making money, painting, family, friends, prayers. Please like my video. Please ring the bell below for notifications. Naku, maraming salamat po sa inyo.